Hey guys, I'm going to get everybody on here. I just got to get admitting everyone here. Who do we got? We got Hannah so far. Here we go. We're getting some other people on. Get the light on over here. All right, we're still getting everybody admitted onto the call here. Looks like we got a couple other people hopping on. There we go. I'm gonna give it, let's give it like one more minute, 30 seconds or so, just so we can get everybody on. And we'll go ahead and kick things off today. How's everyone doing? All right.
Doing great. Doing great.
Sliding through here, looking all the screens. If you guys can get your cameras on, go ahead and put your cameras on.
I can put my camera on. I can put my camera on, but for some reason it's stuck with like a blue tint over my screen. I've tried for like the last 40 minutes to get it off. I can't.
Huh. That's interesting. I've had many issues over the past year with this Zoom, getting used to the Zoom for sure.
I was gonna say I could turn it on still if you want. It's just like I'm blue.
Oh yeah? Okay. Let's see what you look like.
I'm here, but it's like you see my screen's blue.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand.
You look like you're in black and white kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was like messing with the filters and stuff, but there's nothing on.
Huh. Might have to get a different webcam.
Potentially.
Maybe. Yeah. So if you guys are new to Zoom, definitely when you hop on Zoom calls, you want to get your cameras on and everything, because basically what it does, it kind of replaces us being in person, which is great, because it saves us on all the physical constraints of having to be at a certain place at a certain time and driving and traveling and all that stuff that goes into it. So, I'm going to go ahead and get us started today, guys. So if you guys are on the call, you should be currently studying to get your license right now, in the process of your licensing. Potentially you were just hired onto the agency and into the company recently. So I just want to start out by just congratulating everyone. I remember when I started back with the company, guys, it was exciting. It was new. Obviously, I was a little nervous, just as you should be, but I was excited, and you should be too. The company right now is at a huge point of growth. We're at 15 months of consecutive record-breaking growth. Like, we were pretty excited 15 months ago when we had our biggest month in the company. But then when we did it 2 months in a row, everybody's like, wow, 2 months in a row, we broke the record. So then we start saying, hey, let's try and go for 3. And everybody went for 3 months. And before you know it, I mean, it almost became so normal to us that, breaking the biggest month in the company record every single month, 15 months in a row. And it all started back in basically like March, April of 2020, right when the pandemic hit, and I think it tells of how great of leadership that we have as a company, because, they say everything rises and falls on leadership. So I think, when times are good, leadership isn't tested as much. I think leadership is tested when times are not so good. if you're cruising, if you're the one who's leading, you're the captain of a ship, and the waters aren't very shaky, they're very steady. It's not tough to really cruise a ship in that. But when it starts to get into some pretty rough waters, that's really when leadership gets tested. And when we got put into some rough waters, our company was able to not only survive, but to thrive. And that's what the motto of our company is in 2021 is thrive. That's our motto, is thrive. We were pinpointed by Fox. I guess it was Fox Network. They went ahead and they were doing a story on the companies that responded to the pandemic the best. And we were highlighted as one of the companies to do so. So, you guys can be excited about that because not only do we have a great, history and a great past, but every sign, every indicator, every forecast, every trend, everything that they're looking at for this company right now is all pointing up for the future. So, but yes, once again, guys, we don't just move forward with anyone. You're here today because somebody saw something in you. Okay, you're here because we brought you aboard because we know that you're going to be able to make an impact in this business. You're going to be able to make an impact in our clients' lives, and you're going to be able to help other people, through this industry and through this business. So, I always go back to how lucky we are just to be here. So if you think about it, most of us were either born into America here, or we came here for a reason. And the reason you're born here is because your parents or your grandparents or your great grandparents, for the most part, saw that there's a better opportunity here than somewhere else. So just by being in the United States is lucky enough. And then we decide, instead of getting into whatever industries are out there, we decided to get into the sales industry. And out of all the things in the world that we can sell, we just so happen to handle people's life insurance. One of the most important things that a family can have for them financially. I used to be a financial planner, guys. I had my Series 7, Series 66. I was a stockbroker. And anytime I got a client, we would sit down as a financial planning team, and we would analyze their financial situation and then give them advice. Well, guys, anytime I met with a family, one of the first things that we advised these clients that they needed to do was they needed to get proper life insurance in place. Because I could do all the financial planning in the world for this family, but if something were to happen to the main income earner, the husband or the wife, all that planning that we did for 10 or 20 years will be out the window, and it'll be gone like that if we don't have proper protection for that plan. So I learned that at an early age when I got into the business. But not only that, we could do life insurance. There's all kind of companies that sell all kind of different types of life insurance out there. We just so happen to be with the best life insurance company on planet Earth. So if this is your first time in sales, your first time getting your life insurance license and all that, you got lucky. You got kind of getting lucky. It's like being born with rich parents. You're already into the good deal. When I started my first 3 years for me in this business, do you want to know what if this was a movie, what they would call that chapter? They would call it cold calling and prospecting. Like, this is the chapter of my life where I just cold called and prospected for 3 years. And I was on 100% commission. So, I mean, if I didn't go out there and drum up some business myself for the week, I wasn't getting paid. So when I saw this opportunity, one of the first things that caught my eyes, we don't have to do the cold calling or the prospecting. We already have a system in place that puts us in front of clients. And when we get in front of those clients, we're able to collect referrals off of them and even take that one client and turn it into 10 more clients if we wanted to. So that's what's pretty strong about the opportunity there. But what I want to do is just take some time with you guys today, maybe give you my story for real quick on how I got into the company and everything, and give you some pointers on what you can do right now to speed up your process, get through the licensing process faster, and maybe even talk about some steps that are going to come next in your career, just so we can get prepared a little bit. So guys, I graduated college in 2005. My first 3 years, I graduated and I immediately became a real estate agent. That lasted 1 day, and then I became a financial advisor. So I did that for 3 years, and I worked my way up. By the time I was about 24 years old, I was in the business for 3 years. I was making a good 75,000 a year, and I was working my butt off, though. I promise you that. I was working 80 hours a week. Anybody ever work 80 hours a week? Anybody ever do that before? No? Okay. Well, try it out one time. Okay. And if you have done it before, then you know what I'm talking about. I did it for 3 years straight. 3 years straight. But I was working for myself. I was building my business. So I got up to 75,000, and I left that career and I came to this company, and I did the same thing I did there. I just took the pedal and I pushed it to the metal. I drove it as hard as I could. I went as hard as I possibly could. I worked 80 hours a week there. I drove that same work ethic into this business, so I jumped into here in 2008 with this company, guys. 2008. My first year, I made about $120,000 doing the same thing I did over there. I just did it over here, but I made a lot more income because the company pays a lot better. You can move faster here. And then in my second year, I was in management at that point, and I cleared over $200,000 as a general manager. Could you imagine starting with a company and 2 years later earning $200,000? Okay, if that doesn't excite you right now, then you don't have a pulse. Okay, or maybe you already come from money. Maybe you're like 200,000. That's nothing. 200,000. That's chump change. Well, if that's chump change to you, then God bless you. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, but where I come from, okay, nobody sniffed $100,000 in the town where I'm from. Okay, you could look it up. I'm from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. And there's a little part of McKees Rocks. It's called the Bottoms. It's not called the top. It's literally called the McKees Rocks Bottoms, So when they showed me this opportunity, and they showed me how, you have an opportunity where if you work really hard, you can earn X amount of income for your family. I couldn't believe it. That really excited me. So that's one of the things that drove me to work hard. So my second year, guys, I can't believe it. I made over 200,000. So my third year, I worked really hard. I made over $537,000. In my third year, that was 2011. So then in 2012, worked really hard. Get this. I went from 500 to 940,000 in my third year, or my fourth year with this company. 120, 200, 500, 900. Those are my first 4 years with this company. From that point, I've been here now 13 years. I just hit my 13-year anniversary about a week ago. Just hit my 13-year anniversary. So for the last 9 years, I've earned pretty much over $1 million, 8 or 9 years, whatever the math would come out to be. With this company, with this opportunity, the same opportunity that you guys have right now. But here's the thing. If you get into this opportunity and you're driving it around like it's your great grandma's old station wagon, okay, and you're driving it around like this, that's the results you're going to get. That means you're in a Ferrari and you're driving it 5 miles down the road. That's why you're going to take forever to get where you need to get to. You got to realize the opportunity that you got, the vehicle that you have to take your family, to to the next level, right? And we're all here because whatever we were doing before wasn't working, right? That's why we're here. We want something different. This is the opportunity where you're going to do something different. This is different, right? Has any of us had their life insurance license before? No, we're getting our life insurance because we want to do something different. But when you do something different, that's how you get different results. We can't keep doing the same thing that we've been doing, but expect different results, obviously. Second of all, I can't do the same thing that everyone else does, but expect different results from me. If you do what the 95% do, you're going to get the same results that the 95% get, right? So you want to try and find like, what's that top 5%? Like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? What are they reading? What are they saying? Who are they talking to? Right? And that's going to be different than what the other 95% of people are saying, doing, thinking, and talking. You're going to find it's different conversations that are happening, right? So this opportunity right here, if you just look at the statistics on the longevity of the career, you'll see that, I mean, all you got to do is just follow the system, make sure that you're here 3 years from now, 4 years from now, because everybody that's here 4 years is making over $100,000. The average person who's with our company for 4 years is making over $100,000. And that's like average. I mean, after 4 years for me, I was making over $1 million. So there's really no cap or ceiling on how fast you can cruise through your career. So what I can only hope for is for you, for us, for everyone here to experience the same thing that I've experienced with the great rewards that this company will give you and your family. And I hope you guys get twice of what I got done. In 10 years, I've been with the company for 13 years now. Currently, right now, I receive, before I even go to work, I get $22,000 a month in residual income. All I could hope for is for, Rich or Nathan, 10 years from now, for you to be getting twice that amount before you wake up, because of the work that you did. And it all goes back to serving others and helping others. See, the world is going to pay us into what value we're going to be able to bring to the world, to our clients. If you're able to serve a lot of people and you're giving them really good service, you're going to make income. You're going to get paid accordingly. Okay. Serve a lot of people, serve them really well, you're going to get paid accordingly. But if you don't serve a lot of people and you don't really give them good service, well, you're going to get paid accordingly. And a lot of that goes back into pouring into ourselves. You see, I can't pour from an empty cup, right? Who's taking? I got some people who was taking some sips over there. Like, that's a cup in your hand, right? So I can't pour from an empty cup. So in order for me to serve others and help others, I got to first what? I got to first pour into myself, right? So a lot of this business is a lot about self-development, because, this is our personal business. It's pretty nice. It's our personal business. So, if you have some really strong personal strengths and traits, those are going to come right into the business. But if you have some personal traits that, might be weaknesses, those might trickle into your business as well. So this business will kind of make you even step your game up and become just a better person overall too. So anyways, that's been my career path. And then from there, I basically spent the last 8 years, I worked all the way up to a regional manager. And then as a regional manager, guys, I was the top regional manager in the company. And I did that 4 years in a row. Nobody's ever done that before. So we broke the record. It's like winning the Super Bowl four times in a row. And then the person that was on my team, one of my best friends, actually, I recruited him into the business. I said, I'm doing this, you're coming with me. So I made him do the business with me. And he didn't have no problem with it at all, because he was working in like social work. He was doing social work with children. So I was talking to him about his career, and I was showing him about this. He's like, I like helping people, and that's why I got into social work. I could definitely do this. So he jumped into this business with me about 12, 13 years ago, right when I started. And after I was on stage 4 years, I promoted him to a regional director, and then he was on stage as the top regional director. And then the year after that, I was on stage as number one. He was on stage as number two. So, essentially we were on stage like 6 times in 7 years, which was unprecedented. So, the opportunity came for us to take on this opportunity here, where we were based out of Illinois. And now we're able to operate in 46 different states. So it's just a crazy, amazing opportunity that we're able to offer to everyone else. And, our goal is, over the last 12 years, I've done a lot of growth. There's been some great things, but there's also some things that we could probably do a little bit better. So now moving forward, we're taking everything we've done for the last 12 years and just made it that much better, so that everyone here, you guys are so new to the company. I promise you, what you're stepping into right now is 10 times better than what I stepped into, 13 years ago. So, I can't promise you the same thing's going to happen to you. You're going to make all the income and, be on stage and do all the stuff that I was able to do. I can't promise you that's going to happen to you, but I promise you that you will have the same opportunity that I had to do that. And actually, it actually is going to be better. So it's not even going to be the same. It's going to be the same, but better than what I've had. So, just some pointers, guys. Right now I know we're in the licensing process, and just to add, what kind of drove me to do this career, and to what kind of drove me, guys, was, my nana came over on a boat when she was 18 years old on an arranged marriage. So like my grandma, they sent her over on a boat from Italy when she was 18 on an arranged marriage, because it was that bad in Italy that they had to get their family out, and they sent her on a boat to marry a random guy. His name was Joe Vina, happened to be my grandfather, right? So that's how my family got to this country. And believe me, when I say we grew up with nothing, I mean, that's just what we grew up with. We were, immigrant family coming over here. So I saw that, and I just saw that there were other people out there, and I saw there's in a world of abundance, guys. I want you to know that there's so much money and wealth and just so much out there for you guys to get your hands on, that I think sometimes we think of more of a scarcity mentality, like, oh, there's only like 10 pieces of the pie and he got 8 of them, so there's only 2 left for the rest of us. No, there is no pie out there. It's infinity, guys. There's an abundance where everybody here can eat, and your family can eat and be taken care of for generations and generations. This opportunity for me just happened to be the way that I got my family out of where we were forever and ever and ever. I mean, I make $22,000 a month before I even wake up now for the rest of my life. So I think at least my immediate family is going to be okay, So, but now the goal is to create massive wealth for all the other people through this industry by helping others. It's the greatest thing, is by helping others. Because the families that we meet with, guys, I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 of them, they have no life insurance, which means that if they passed away tomorrow, their family would be in a very bad spot. 9 out of 10 people we meet with, they either don't have it, or if they do have it, it's not the right kind. It's like a small accidental policy, or it's not the right amount. It's like $10,000. Like if somebody passed away tomorrow, and $10,000, it's okay. It might take care of some of the funeral costs, but you got to think, like, if somebody passes away, what do people face? They got to pay for a funeral within 5 days. Then immediately all the debt bills are coming in. So you got mortgages, car payments, student loans, those bills are coming in. If you don't pay the mortgage, they'll come and take the home. there's no income coming in anymore. This person was earning $5,000 a month, and now it's gone forever. So all of that hits them at once. 10,000 is not going to be enough. So we're taking care of families at one of the worst times of their life. So it's something to be proud of. And next to a police officer, a firefighter, we're out there protecting families in our own regard. So we're helping families protect their family. If I had to ask you guys on this call here, what's the most important thing in the world to you? What do you think most people would say to that question? What do you think you're going to say? Xbox, right? It's probably family. Most people are going to say family. Now, if I had to say this, if you had to put a price on your family, what would you say, your family would be worth to you? What's if you had to put a price tag on your family? Could you even do it? No, your family's priceless, right? Well, for us, fortunately, they're able to put a price tag on protecting our families, which for our families, guys, our average client pays about $60 to $70 a month, like $67 a month, which is less than a cable bill, cell phone bill. I mean, I don't even know if you could go to Starbucks for $67 a month. Definitely can't get coffee there every day, so less than a cup of coffee, they're able to protect the most important thing in the world to them, which is their family. So that's what's nice. That's the power that we have for us, that if we call somebody up and we meet with them, we're able to make an impact like that literally, it's not a matter of if, because we can sell fire extinguishers, right? That's going to help protect the family if there's a fire, right? We can sell home security systems, ADT and all those, right? And that's going to help protect the family if there's a fire, smoke alarm, carbon monoxide leak. If somebody breaks in your home, the ADT system goes off, right? The alarm system goes off. That's if that happens. If. We sell family protection, guys, not for the if. We sell it for when. Right? There's not a guarantee that the house is going to catch on fire. There's not a guarantee that the home is going to get broken into. Most people have guns. Why do people have a gun in their house? For protecting their family if somebody comes in, right? That's all if. So people will go to great lengths, great extents. They'll pay $60 a month for a home security system for something that's not even ever really guaranteed to happen. It's like a 1 in 4,000 chance. With people with life and death, that's not a matter of if. There's only 2 guarantees in the world. Well, at least that's what they say. It's an old saying. They say there's 2 guarantees. There's death and taxes, right? Now, I know some people who got around paying taxes before. Maybe some people that, hustled their way out of the taxes a little bit. But I never met anybody who got around dying, So that's just something to rest assured that for us, when something happens to our families, that we are so privileged and blessed to take care of them, they're going to pretty much make 2 phone calls if something happens. Joe passes away. Mary going to pick up the phone and call 911, and then she's going to pick up the phone and probably call you. We're there for these families at one of the toughest times of their lives, guys. So, they say it's where they can set aside the least when they need it the least, but we're going to pay them the most when they need it the most. They can set aside $60, $67 a month, and they don't really need that. They're not missing that now. But when they need it the most, we're going to pay them $100,000, and take care of their family. So that's just talking about the product a little bit, give you guys some insight on it's pretty easy when you really understand what we do to be passionate and believe in what we do, especially when you actually see it happening. Like if you meet with a family and then they call you up and somebody does pass away and they actually need to file a claim and you got to help them, you see it stuff firsthand a little bit more. And they're so thankful, so grateful. Like they literally will say, like, without you, I don't know what we would do. right now. Without you, without your company, he just passed away. I don't know what we would even do right now. We would lose our home. I've literally people tell me we would lose our home. So I can't, I mean, it gives me chills. And never do it. You want to wish that upon somebody, but that it's going to happen. And we're able to help when that does happen. So anyways, guys, right now you guys are all everything we can talk about is almost like pointless unless we get our license. When I started asking all kind of questions like, well, what about this and what about that? And my mentor, my leader at the time, this is when I was becoming a financial advisor, because I wanted to know about the stocks and all this stuff. He was like, hey, Tommy, listen, I can sit here and teach you for the next 10 hours about all the business, about this and that and another. But if you don't get your license, it's going to be a waste of your time and my time. It'll be pointless because none of that stuff matters unless you have your license. You got to become official through the state. That's a state law. So he's like, all you got to worry about right now, I'm going to tell you two things to do. Two things. And I got my pen and paper and I'm like ready to go. I'm like, all right, what is it? What is it? And he was like, here you go. You ready? He's like, you need to, number one, study. Number two, pass. I was like, okay, that's it. It's like, that's it. Just study and pass. Put your blinders on. Don't focus. Don't worry. Don't think. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't worry about anything else but studying and passing that test. And those were like, for me, very painful things to do. I don't know about you, but I don't like studying or taking tests at all. I despise it. So it's painful. So, the key for me is I had to get in and get out as quick as possible. I could not drag this thing on any longer than it needed to be. So my son the other day was playing around with the kids, and he was underneath the pool table, right? And he was running, and like he stood up too fast, so his back got cut on the pool table, and it was actually a pretty significant cut. I was like, oh, no big deal. He couldn't see it, but I, as a parent, I was like, oh, this is not pretty good. So we got a Band-Aid and we got Neosporin, which if you're a parent or if you're going to be a parent, get some Neosporin. And they have Neosporin these days that actually has pain relieving in it. So like, how perfect is that? A little pain relieving on it, plus it heals it up. I swear, man, I took the Band-Aid off a couple of days later. It was like healed up. And I know if I didn't put the Neosporin on, it wouldn't have healed up like that. So, but anyways, it was time to take the Band-Aid off. And it was on there pretty good because it's been on there for a day or two, right? So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I peeled off the little side. And I just, what would you do if you were a parent? Let me ask you. What would you do? Would you go real slow or would you go? Whoo? Well, what I did, okay, is what all I know, and what I would do it for myself as well, is I would just like, just get it done. Why would I sit there and make my son go through 5 minutes of agonizing pain? I was like, I'm just gonna, and I was like, hold on, buddy. And sure, it might have hurt a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. He wasn't like freaking out. And so the whole point of it is that's how I passed my life insurance test, guys. I literally went on the course. I locked myself in a room and I just studied and studied and studied and brainwashed myself, till it was just all in there, and memorized the stuff so I could just literally go right out and just put it back on the test before I forgot it. See, if you get it all in there, go take the test real quick. It's in there, but you drag it on out. By the time you get to the last chapter, you forgot the first chapter. So I did that, and then I just for years have been recommending everybody, because that's the only way I know how to do it. If I had different advice, I'd give it to you. But my advice is to get on the course and get off the course as quick as you possibly can. get through it as quick as you can. So how about this? About 5 years ago, they came up with a statistic, and they told me, they said, we found this, we did a study. People that get through the course in 10 days or less actually pass at a higher rate than people that take longer than 10 days to get through the course. I'm like, well, goes to show you, that's kind of how I've been feeling the whole way anyways. So that's my first piece of advice. Okay. I can't, by driving home anymore for you, I will, but get in, get out, lock yourself, put the blinders on, and just get through it. The second thing I'll tell you is the practice exam at the end, the final review test, that final test all the way at the end. You have to pass that twice with the 80%. The more times you take that, the better, because the questions that are on there are similar to what you're going to see in the real test, because the people that built this course have active people that go take the test. So they go take the test and they come back, and then because the people, they change some of the stuff. So they actively take it and try and keep it up to date. So that's a good, useful tool. The vocabulary words, it's a multiple choice test, A, B, C, D. So if you know the vocabulary words, you'll be able to eliminate a couple of the answers, just because you're like, oh, I already know what C means, and C has nothing to do with the question. So you'll be able to eliminate some stuff there. Take the test early in the morning. You typically don't want to take it later in the day. You want to take it early in the morning before your brain gets clogged up with all kind of stuff throughout the day when it's fresh. The night before, you really don't want to be, cramming as much. Cram the day before, maybe in the morning, but the night before, go for a walk, take a hot bath, go work out, play a game of basketball, relax, watch a movie, try not to be, so zoned in on the test and hyper over the test all night. And then you're sleeping on the test and you wake up on and you relax. You did all your studying, definitely don't go out the night before and do it, do shots till 3 a.m. at the club. I wouldn't recommend to do that either. Get up early, take the test early in the morning, get some caffeine in you, and get your brain moving. And all you got to score is a 70%. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to get a 99% on this test. All you need is a 70, and that's it. A 70 is just as good as a 99. You don't get any extra points for getting a 90, nothing extra. In fact, you probably studied too much if you did that, So I scored a 70%. I promise you. I promise. I can't even make that up. Like, the lowest score you possibly can score is literally what I scored the first time I took the test. Samantha, you got a question?
Yeah, what about those that don't study well at all and can't memorize anything? Like, I'm on chapter 4 and I'm struggling getting through that one. All I've been doing is taking screenshots of all of it instead of writing down the notes. But chapter 4 seems to be going back on what their questions actually are, because I'll write down the questions and the answers, and then I'll go back through the notes, the screenshots, and actually search for the freaking answer. But even when I find the answer's wrong. And that is extremely frustrating when it's saying one thing and then yet the answer is completely different.
I know they have I could be wrong, but last time I was talking to somebody, they have like a help. Is there like a help or a chat? Like you can email or write and ask them the questions on that. Last person I talked to told me that they were pretty helpful. I don't know if you tried that yet.
No, I do know there's a second button, but I thought that was for something different, so I don't touch it.
Okay.
But I'm all in is screenshot or those screenshots. I mean, I'm more of a hands-on learner. I suck at reading. I can't memorize anything. So is that going to be a problem?
Well, you got to pass the tests. So all it is just a test. The information that we use on the test is not really used in the bit. You'll probably use maybe 10 or 20% of that actual stuff actually in the business. Like you're never really gonna have to know like the laws on an annuity and all that stuff, you know. So, but I don't know any other way to memorize, to get to learn some of the stuff is just through memorization. You got to memorize stuff. Some things you just have to memorize it. I don't know any other way to learn it. Maybe you could just trick, do some mnemonic devices and trick your mind on some stuff. But I'm sure that if you had a cat and you named your cat Snowball, you could remember the cat's name, Snowball, right? So you got to remember stuff. That's like the best way I could describe it. It's like you just got to, like, if the law says that if I don't know, the fine is $50,000 and 10 years in jail, you got to just remember that somehow, So it's just repetition. Note cards, writing things down is a way to get stuff to your memory. So the stuff that I had a hard time, how about the way that I memorized all the vocabulary words, guys, is I actually wrote them down on a note card. And then on the back of the note card, I wrote the definition, So when I wrote them out, that's how I memorized it more than reading it. Like sitting there reading the word and the definition, reading it was sinking in, but not really. By me making the note card is probably the time that I memorized it the most. Then using the note card helped me memorize it more. But I'll tell you, the act of writing the word down and then on the back, writing the definition, the act of actually writing it is probably the thing that stuck things into my memory the most. So if you're just watching things like a TV show, like I always tell people, like when we have meetings like this, try not to just hop on the meeting like it's a TV show. Don't just hop on and just watch it and get some popcorn going. Like, like this is entertaining. Make sure you're there and you're engaged in the information, and then always take notes, because when you write stuff down, it sticks to your memory a lot more. So those would be some pointers, I could give you on trying memorization a little bit and just repetition over and over again, and have somebody quiz you on it. So, but yeah, that's some stuff, some pointers on getting your license or getting through this licensing thing as quick as possible. And then I would say that once you get your license, so what's going to happen next? I'll just give you some like next step type of things. So let's say today you passed your test. Well, what would happen? You would be on your computer, and at the end, you're going to click next. After you pass your test, you're going to click next. Samantha, you okay?
I came off a 12-hour shift and found out that I needed to be on a Zoom call at 11. So no, I am not doing okay.
All right. Well, if you want to take a break, go take a break. Because, we're on these calls. This is your like in person, you know what I mean? So like, I'd rather you not have your camera on or something. If some of us, if I'm sitting here like this the whole time, it's just, I just want to coach everybody, use this as a coaching thing, that this is like, you're making an impression, and I'm the leader of the organization, and I'm looking here and I'm like, I don't know if you're okay or what, if you're crying, like, or what, like, but we got to be looking like we got a little bit of energy and we're engaged, and I'm just telling you how it got to be, and whatever your guys are doing, it's just the way. If everybody was on the call like this,
I know.
You would imagine that. What kind of call would this be, guys? I'm sorry I got to pause the call and do that, but I want everyone to just know that you that's just not how, it's not acceptable to be on a call, everybody doing this like it's like we're dying over there. Okay, you don't have to drive anywhere. You're doing it from the luxury of your own home. You know what I'm saying? When I started in the business, I had to drive to the office every day. If I wanted to meet my CEO, do you know what I had to do to meet my CEO? I had to schedule a meeting 3 weeks in advance and drive to the meeting and meet them there in advance. Nobody did this for me when I came into the business. So I'm taking time to meet with you guys today to give you the best advice I can. That's all I'm doing for you. So I just want to make sure you guys are okay. Just coaching up on how to be on a Zoom call. Some of us, if you don't got your camera on or whatever, that's fine as well. But all right, so back to it. All right. The next steps, if you pass your test today, let's say, right now, we all just passed our test. Imagine the good feeling you're going to have, first of all, that, okay? So you just passed your test, you're going to click next, and then it's going to say, congratulations, you passed. So you have to take your test scores and you have to apply for your state license. So at this point, you passed your test, but you don't have your license yet. So you have to take your test scores and send them to the state. The state will process your test scores. They'll do an FBI background check, and then they're going to issue your license to you. That can take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. It depends on the process. So let's say that we passed today as a Friday. We have all of next week and probably all of the following week before our license is actually going to come to us in the mail. So while we're waiting on our license to come in the mail, it's kind of like we're in limbo. There's really nothing really going on. What we would like to do with you, and what I would suggest to do, would be to use that time to get ready for training. Because as soon as your license comes in, we're going to be able to get you right into training and get your career moving. So to get into training class, you kind of have to have two things. The first thing is your license. And the second thing is our presentation. So the presentation that we do for the clients when we hop on a Zoom or if we meet with them in person, it's all a script. Okay, so it's a couple page script presentation of certain verbiage. There's keywords and certain things that we have to tell the clients. So I want to make sure that you guys have that script in your hand and you have enough time to get comfortable with it, get familiar with it, because you're going to want to memorize that before you start training. And then as soon as you come into training class, guys, training class will be a 2-week training class course. Have it all mapped out for you. Your trainer will be with you, holding your hand every step of the way. So we will take care of you. We'll hold your hand every step of the way for your first 2, sometimes even 3 or 4 weeks. It depends on how long it takes for you to get trained up. But I want you to know that we're not going to just kind of say, hey, your 2 weeks is up, so good luck. Here's your training manual, and give us a call if you need anything. So we're not just going to give you 2 weeks and that's it. We're going to train you and hold your hand every step of the way until you're 100% ready to meet with clients and get out there on your own. And then from that point forward, guys, now you're going to be able to meet with clients on your own. That's what the training is done. The training prepares you to talk to clients without a manager with you. That's what it does. So now you're meeting with the clients, and it's going to take you about 100 presentations before you're going to feel 100% comfortable. So just get ready mentally to be a little uncomfortable for your first few months. In fact, they told me you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's new. And if you did anything new, it's going to be the first time I held a golf club, man, was really uncomfortable. I don't know if you ever went golfing before, but it's kind of weird because you got to cross your finger over another finger, and it's awkward a little bit. So you definitely can't hold it like a baseball bat, which is what I was doing at first. So you can imagine me the first time golfing, trying to hold it like a baseball bat. Everybody's making fun of me. But I'll tell you what, after I swung the golf club a while, now I don't even think about it. I just grab it and hold it the right way. In fact, I'm teaching other people how to do it. So it's kind of like the same thing with your presentation. You're going to have to really think about it at first. It's going to feel a little awkward, but before you know it, it's going to be comfortable. You're not going to have to think about it as much. And before you know it, if you get into management and leadership, and if you don't, you're going to be able to know it to a level to where you're going to be able to teach other people how to do it as well. Right. So it's going to take you about 2 to 3 months to give about 100 presentations. So if we map this out right now, we're going to be right in the beginning of July. So most of us should be getting our license right around the first week of July. You should be in training middle of July, end of July, and maybe train July, August. And then you'll be looking at August, September, October. So I would tell you probably right around August, September, October, right around October, maybe October, November-ish, you should start to feel really confident and a lot more comfortable in what you're doing. Like night and day, I'm talking. But you have to give yourself that time, and you have to understand it's part of the process. Everybody goes through, so just know it's and we're going to be with you every step of the way, but there's going to be about a good 2 or 3 month ramp up here for you to get really comfortable and confident in what you're doing. But what's nice to know is that if you do the math on the leadership side of things, you can be approaching by the end of this year, October, November, guys, already your first promotion as well. If you put your head down and you hit your numbers and the targets, you can be promoted by August, by October. You'd be looking at an October, November first promotion. So starting out 2022, you're already in a leadership position. So, all we're doing right now, guys, mentally is, if you think about it, you're sowing seeds for yourself. You're sowing seeds for yourself, for your future self, for your future family. You're sowing seeds. Right now is not the time to harvest. You're starting a business. So in the beginning stages of starting your business, you're not really supposed to be making tons of money and taking all kinds of vacations. This is the time where we're getting it started. We're getting it set up. We're planting the seeds. We're doing all the groundwork. We're laying the foundation so that we have something to build on, right? So that's what you guys are doing. And I just wanted, like I said, just congratulate you guys again on your new career path and joining the team. We have all the systems in place. Literally, if you guys are ready, willing, able, you're coachable, you're hungry, we have all the systems, all the plays, all the playbooks, and everything to be successful and help you guys out. I want to encourage you to dream big, think big. There's nothing that you can outthink with this company. So as far as today goes, that's everything that I really wanted to cover with you. Does anybody have any questions before we break?
Yeah, I have a question.
This is kind of a stupid question. Maybe it's
Hold on here. Let me see if I could. Some of it, I'm gonna have to do one at a time. Looks like we're getting a lot of feedback. Okay, all right. Now, okay, if you have a question, now I'll try and unmute it and it'll work because it was giving a lot of feedback. Was that Candy that had a question? No, was it Rich?
No, I didn't have a question.
No, Rich. Samantha? Was it Hannah? Okay, Hannah. Okay, Hannah got her hand up. There you go.
So this may be kind of a stupid question. I don't know if we're doing the whole not any stupid questions thing, but is it correct that I'm seeing we could take it at any Ivy Tech campus?
That's a good question. What was the campus? Was it IB Tech?
Ivy Tech. I'm just trying to at the end of the course, it would prompt me to where I can schedule it, or if I do it online, or where I'm going to be taking it at.
Oh, okay. That's news to me. I'm not sure about the campus there. Where I'm not sure.
Online though.
You know what? Because of COVID, it was all online. Yeah, and I still think you're allowed to take it online, which is great.
Okay, cool. And then second question, obviously our main goal is to pass it the first time, but by chance, because like you said, getting to see everything and whatnot, but how soon can you retake the test if you were to by chance fail it?
Yeah. So that's what I tell people. They're like, you know what, I want to study. I'm like, just go take the test, because if you take it now, if you need to take it again, at least you know what you're up against, you know? But yeah, it's 24 hours and then you can reschedule to take it again.
Okay.
You know, so like if you took it on Monday and failed, you'd have to wait till Tuesday to reschedule, and then you could reschedule, maybe hopefully get it on Wednesday or Thursday or something.
Okay.
And then if you do fail, just go back in as soon as possible. You don't want to drag on the time between retaking the test either. Good questions though. That somebody else had a question? Was it Malik or Tino? No?
No, I was just gonna say that I heard a lot of what is it called? Like echoing, but I think you resolved the issue. That was all I was gonna say.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Okay, guys.
I
Well,
have a question.
okay.
Okay, I have the script now. What would you say would be the easiest way to go about remembering the script? Because it's long.
Yeah, the script. Well, okay. So when you get the script in hand, guys, the script, it's all typed up words. First of all, you know, in perspective, it's actually pretty small. Like, so, you know, if you think about like an actor or an actress like a Denzel Washington, or, you know, I don't know, what are these actresses' names, like a J-Lo or Penelope Cruz or something, they got to learn, I don't even know, probably 10, 20, 30 scripts a year. And their scripts are long and they're big, thick ones, you know? So when I got the script, I was like, oh man, this is long. But then I thought, actually, not compared to Denzel Washington, this is not long at all. He got to learn way bigger scripts than what I got to learn. And he got to learn a new one every year. All I got to learn is one script for the rest of my life. So that's the cool thing about it. And it is a couple pages, maybe 7 pages, 10 pages or something, but there's pictures in there. It's not all words. Hold on, something. There we go. Okay. So on passing the test, on studying the script, the first thing, it takes 40 hours of memorization on this thing. So just know up front, it's not going to happen in a day. It's going to take you about a good work week, a good 40 hours to study this thing, like an actress or an actor. Saying it out loud. So I had somebody come in and rehearse their script with me, and they did horrible. Before they came in to do it with me, I said, how do you know it? They said, I got it down pat. I know it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, here, let me hear it. And when they went to say it, they did bad, right? And I said, what happened? They said, they're like, I studied 40 hours. I could say it over and over. I was like, well, were you saying it out loud, or were you just saying it in their head? And they're like, yeah, I just kept rehearsing it in my head. I was like, well, that's the thing. You know, you have to rehearse it out loud. So it might sound weird to be in your house by yourself, kind of talking to yourself, but you got to say the words out loud, like you would in person, because you can't meet with a client and just look at them and say the script in your head. You know what I mean? When you meet with a real person, you're going to have to say it out loud. So also muscle memory happens. So just like working out, like if you work out enough, your muscles are going to get like memory to doing certain motions, you know? So like a swimmer, they got just muscle memory for certain motions. A batter got certain muscle memories for certain motions, right? In our business, we're in sales. So our tongue and our jaw, like this is our muscle. It's going to get used to saying certain words. You know, you got to get this used to saying these words, because you're not used to saying those words. You're used to saying different words, right? You're not used to that. So you got to get your tongue and everything used to it. So saying it out loud, it takes 40 hours to memorize. Brick by brick, they call it. So what it says is say the first sentence, memorize the first sentence, and then don't move on to the second sentence until you got the first sentence down. Now, when you do the second sentence, start back over with the first sentence though. So it's like, hi, my name's Tom Veen. I'm with American Income. I spoke to you about your benefits through the Boilermakers. Is your wife Mary available as well? Is your wife Mary home? And that's the first line. Now, if I want to learn the second line, which is like, okay, great. we're going to need you guys both to join us. You know, can you grab her as well? We're going to need you both to join us. So I'm going to go over the information with both of you guys. Now I'm going to start back from the beginning though. Hi, my name's Tom Vina. I spoke to you about your benefits through the Boilermakers. Is your wife Mary home? We're going to need her to join us as well. Okay, great. Can you grab her? Okay, we're going to need her to join us to go over. Every time I do it, I start back from the beginning. So I'm going over that first line that many more times, the second line that many more times, the third line, and that works really, really well. So I don't know if you've employed any of those tactics in studying yet, but you could try that. Also, the number one way to memorize everything, guys, the number one way to memorize anything is writing it down, right? So you could write them down. One time I made note cards for myself and I never needed them because by the time I was done making the note cards, I had it memorized. So like the act of making the note cards actually was memorizing it for me, if that makes sense. So you could do that with the script as well. I've had a lot of people break it down that way. Find a partner, rehearse it with a partner, and have them hold the script and hold you accountable. Like, no, wrong, start it over, you know, and have somebody hold you accountable to getting it down. So those are some pointers on that. But it does take a while to learn it, and you have to have the script memorized about a week before training class. So like if you're going to be starting training class on the 10th, make sure you have it memorized by like the 3rd. Is a big pointer as well. But yeah, I mean, I could spend all day with you guys. If you guys got questions, you know, I chop it up with you guys all day and talk about the business and anything else. So, you know, I don't have any other meetings till 1 o'clock Central Time, so I'm kind of free. I was going to get some lunch beforehand, maybe, but you know, if anybody got any questions, I'll stick around for sure. Dave, you good? Nathan, you good? Nathan looks sharp today. Where you going? You didn't get all dressed up for us, did you?
No, I did. Today's actually a day off, day that I was spending studying. So yeah, I did just get dressed up for you guys.
All right, man. Salute to you. More power to you, bro. He already knows you got the power tie on a Zoom call. Let's go, man. Love it. Love it. Love it. Look good, man. Look good. Look sharp. So everybody, you guys look great. Everybody looks great, man. And I appreciate your time today for sure. I love spending time with you guys. I just remember when I got started, how excited I was, you know, and I just hope to get you guys in the career. And I can't wait to start working with you guys on some next level stuff. Let's get this license passed. Okay. Let's get that over with so we can actually get in here and we can actually start talking about some grown folk stuff, some business. Okay. Let's get this elementary school stuff, get this license thing over with. Okay. If you need any help at all, we're here. That's what we're here for. So let us know. Okay. I'll end with this. Just a couple things, maybe like real quick pointers. I'm going to end just real quick on this is if you want to stay in tune with the agency, just want to stay in touch with everybody, every Monday at 11 a.m., we do an agency meeting. We recognize people, the top performers speak. We have some fun as well. So the Mondays at 11 a.m., ask your manager, they'll give you a link. You could just hop right on and join the agency meeting. It's fun. And you get to maybe even see some other people in the agency too. So every Monday at 11 o'clock, we do that. So definitely feel free to hop on to that. Next week on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, I'm doing a special meeting with just people that want to be in leadership. So if you want to get a jump start on the leadership track, if you're interested in leadership, if you want to learn more about the leadership, I'm going to be meeting at 11 o'clock on Tuesday with just a handful of people, just the people that kind of raise their hand and say, hey, I really want to get into leadership, or, I want to learn more about it. And you want to start being proactive and just start getting the ball moving there and just exploring that a little bit. I'm going to meet with you guys on this call. Anybody here that wants to get into leadership, I'll go into that in all the details and how to make it work and some stuff that'll give you some juice to get started there. So let your manager know, let your MGA know. Your MGAs should be, we got Casey Kunash, there's Vince Masseri, Gio Vaca, Josh Urenko, or Drew Herstein. We have 5 MGAs right now. So if you want to let one of those gentlemen know, or even one of your direct managers, say, hey, I want to hop on the call on Tuesday at 11 o'clock with Tommy, they'll get you the link for that. And then we'll spend some time going over something way different than we went over today. It'll be completely different. Okay. So there's some stuff you could do just to stay in line with all that. But really, other than that, I wish you the best luck on your licensing, guys. Study up this weekend. Okay, have a good weekend though. Have some fun this weekend, but don't have too much fun because we've got to get our license. Okay. But I appreciate your time. Sorry I took a little bit of extra time today. I really only planned on this being a half hour, but once I get started, it looks like we just kept it going. So, but thanks for hopping on, and good luck with your license, guys. Look forward to working with you guys soon. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Definitely.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.